From coaches to casuals, grassroots to the league, this is Open Gym. I'm Coach Q.
Coach T.
Coach Way Too Nice.
Dan, how y'all doing?
Shoot. I've been good, man. Caught a couple games.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's been an up and down for me, but we push on. We push on. We push on to the next one.
You
brother.
win some, you lose some.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But you live to fight another day.
All right, fellas. I want to start us off with a quick little icebreaker. We'll watch this, and after that, I'd love for y'all to tell me what are y'all favorite ways to defend the pick and roll.
They get here, set it up, and now you got a better angle. All right, instead of just staying here and staring it down, where everybody know what's happening, what's going on. Set it up here, and now you got an angle. Now you come off. Now this is where you play 2-on-2 in the ball screen. All right, so the first read here, 2-on-2. And we just working. He may be up. We're working on throwing them open. All right? That's all we're working on. So live dribble. They trying to weak. Flatten it out. Set it up. Now he's coming. Now you come off. And now a little bit higher. A little bit higher. Weak. More like what Auburn did. Yeah. Yep. More at the level. And then just throwing them open. All right? Then relocate. Get you a shot. So they're trying.
He real detailed.
Oh, no, that was very detailed. Mm-hmm. Funny part about it, you get a lot of bigs, get a lot of fouls on those type of plays. Just do because they're not being patient coming off that screen, though. So you always got to teach your guards how to set up that screen more than anything else to make sure that pick and roll is effective. So that was great breakdown of how to be patient. You know what I mean? It's all about pace.
No, that's a fact. That's probably one of the little underrated things about screens that you just said. Is guards a lot of times don't allow the big to set their feet.
Yeah.
Like we had a kid that would get fouls over and over and over. One, because he just was going to run through the kid. And then two, the guards didn't allow him the chance to just slow down. It was a lot of force already moving up the court, but he would get the screen called as a charge or, as an offensive foul often. But it was of those two things where the guard wouldn't really be patient enough. And it's about Trey. Yeah. Where that's you could actually utilize that amazingly. Oh, yeah. Because if he opens up the proper way and just get the person getting around that, it's his own difficulty. But I know a lot of times between being zealous to really set it and tag and go, or the guards not allowing him to set his feet, we'll get those calls. So yeah,
I got a guard right now that's struggling with that, waiting on it.
Yeah,
just being patient.
Yeah,
and then one other detail years ago that I seen that really helps is when you used to hear coaches say sprint to the screen. Sometimes the bigs just be driving Miss Daisy to it, and you don't get the separation that the window that he was talking about in that detail. Because if you running slow to that screen, now the defender is there. But if you sprint to it and you hit and he come off of it, you get that window. A lot of times that don't happen.
But that's what and what he was alluding to. I put that on my guards. You know what I mean? Especially me being a point guard, and even the way I learned how to play pick and roll was like you play it with a pace. You know what I mean? Slow man is cool.
Yeah.
You go slow as you want to. You know what I mean? As far as the guard, now understanding with the big, do your job, get there, allow me to use you as a screen the way I need to where it's going to benefit you, because they may, getting into almost how to guard it. You as many different coaches see, you're going to guard the pick and roll in many different ways. Yeah. So if I have a guard that can drive and get into the paint, I may go under that screen. I may, what they call, laying back in the screen. So basically allow my big to let that guard get through to get back to provide help. But, if you got someone that, may not be a great ball handler, you're going to show or maybe blitz that screen. So it all kind of depends on the type of guard play that you're working against and also what they kind of big they have. So
do you have a favorite that you like to go to?
It
or
varies.
One that you like to stay away from?
One I like to stay away from is switching.
Okay.
Especially when we're talking about, anything guard to big. Now, anything guard to guard, big to big, you can switch that. But I feel like anything when you're working with guard to big, that's one thing I want to stay away from. I feel like that prevents a a lazy mindset. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times with that comes, and only really good teams can still do that if you have a strong guard. But also with that comes a lot of high communication. You know, so anything, especially guarding the pick and roll, starts with communication first. So that has to be at a high level. You know, to be able to talk through that screen, especially when you get to an elite level with bigs, learn how to twist the screen and, you know, rescreen it and being able to talk through that. So, but I always try to stay away from switching. But I think one of my favorite would be actually icing the screen. You know what I mean? Trying to prevent that guard from being able to get off their screen more than anything else. Now making them have to play a different way or even thinking more, especially when you're talking about elite terms of shot clock and that going down. But also, you know, you have to make that guard think, so what do I do? Do I pass it? Do I drive it? Because when I ice it, I'm going to help from the weak side, help from the bottom. You know, so I think that'll probably be something I like more than anything else is to ice that screen and see if he can adjust. They adjust and I adjust.
I agree. I like attacking it. Like
a blitz.
Blitzing it.
I got you. Okay.
Blitzing it, and then like you said, seeing if the guard can make the proper read as far as rejecting it. And can he make something happen when he rejected, or does he pick the ball up, and then that's what we want. We want to pick him up, want him to pick it up, and then, you know, now we denying the passes, we trying to get a steal.
I guess I'd say I like hedge, like a strong hedge, and get back, push the guard out, make him actually have to kind of round it out with, you know, bottom man tagging, making sure that, you know, you have accountability there. I also do like ice as well. Just icing the screen with, you know, I mean, kind of like, you know, almost zoning up and making sure you're hedging in case they like a soft ice where, again, it's like blocked off like this. And bottom man sitting right there just in case the guard sees it and they want to toss it over top. And then you kind of just cover down from there, where you don't really ever have any disadvantages. And of course, it always depends on what version of a defense that you're playing. Especially if you're playing like a defense where you're trying to keep everything on one side, ice is almost perfect.
Perfect.
Like it just sets itself up there because no matter what happens, you're kind of already shading the way that the ice will go. That'd be my take.
I would also say the defense also depends on where the screen is being set. So it's great to ice on the wing for a screen coming back middle. You know what I mean? It's also, I feel like that's also a better hedge moment to hedge out when the screen is coming middle versus going to the wing. So I feel like if you setting that screen in the middle of the court, it's hard to ice it that way because now you're giving up a lot of ground either way. You know, so that's why I say it kind of depends on where that screen is being set to how you're going to coach it, how you're going to play it.
And that's why I was saying, like, depending on how you like your coach to play defense. Where if you're pushing to a side anyway, you're trying to keep everything out the middle. So then it just naturally allows for ice to happen. So I guess as we continue transitioning, we're still inside a bit of like the icebreaker space. We got a new program in the city, in which I think that it'd be interesting and informational for you to break down a bit of like the process of getting on a circuit, a sneaker circuit, in which I ain't see you. It didn't look like you was coaching. So you didn't feel the role of program director now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, I was doing both with Halo.
So but you was on the sideline a little too.
Oh yeah.
It looked like you just filling spots now. It's a little different.
Well, you know, with
is it program director to you?
Yeah.
Oh damn. Okay. Okay.
No, but
kudos to the title, my brother.
Thank you. No, but I will still fill in and coach. I love the sideline. You know, so that.
Jerry Jones?
Yeah. No. No. I told the guys that hit me up and they said, I want to do this class. I want to do this class. I said, hey, it's yours. What you want to do, what you need me to do. My biggest thing is trying to make sure we lock the gyms in and we got somewhere to get down and dirty. Outside of that, everything else is going to be taken care of because I mean, the other stuff is easy, you know, just talking to the tournament directors. And
so run us down to just the process of doing it.
Like
how long it kind of took, some of the information that you have gained along the lines where I know there's a lot of independent programs that are going whether it's with Puma, Adidas, trying to get into like the Nike feeder system into EYBL, the Under Armour's feeder system. I can't remember the name of it.
UA Rise.
Yeah, UA Rise. Yeah, talk to us.
Yeah, so everybody know, and I ain't gonna say everybody know, but y'all know that I started off with Halo and the development side of it, and I still want to continue to do that. The process, I reached out to all of these circuits and asked questions. That's what I did first, and I wanted to know, was the things true that I was hearing.
Okay.
So that's
such as
yeah. So like
no, you're saying such as what?
Such as what? Like what things were you hearing?
Well, basically, you might hear people talk of like you have to be this, or you got to be this, or you got to do this in order to be this, and sometimes that ain't true.
So the politics wasn't true.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So some of the politics wasn't true. Okay.
Good callback.
Now they do. Now they do look at your traction. They do look at what you doing because they research you, and they also ask you, do you have kids that could make it on the Division I, Division II, III, or JUCO level? So they do ask you those questions. And when it comes to that, it's like an application process. Okay. So you gotta, as a program, you have to apply, and then once you do that, if they're interested, they'll reach back out to you, just like a job. Like, when you applying for a job, if you don't get hit up with that email, stating, hey, can you send us a resume or they ain't interested. Yeah. So, just finding out and just reaching out to these people, it kind of helps. But needless to say, after some years, I've been attacking this process. And all I want to be is an option. That's the biggest thing, is being another option. And
hashtag what?
Option over politics. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, so you get that. And I got the email. Stating that, hey, we want to talk to you. Move further along with the process. And
it was like a full interview process type of thing. They vetted your program. What are some of the benefits that comes with being a part of a circuit? Well,
I will say this before I answer that. It wasn't the interview was, we want to move on, and it was like more of a conference. Okay. It wasn't more of a me and them, and just it was more of a, they brought in a couple other guys that they're interested in, and then they kind of tell you how it works. Yeah. And then they go with, reaching back out to you and saying, all right, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now your question, you said, what was your question?
Damn, I was freestyling and I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, okay. No. But I mean, just to get in on how it works, I think that's what you was asking, like, just some of the detail. So sitting in there and just listening to them, there is levels.
What are the benefits to being a part of a sneaker circuit?
Okay, the talent, the high level of talent, and you're gonna have kids in there. Even I'm at the gold level. It's a gold level and it's a 3SSB level. Yeah, at both of those levels, you're gonna still have kids that guys are interested in.
Oh, for sure.
So your kids will benefit with being in that same room and competing with these kids that's on this level, and it's potentially gonna be this level. So there is benefits. Now at the tier that I am is like more of an introductory tier where you're still kind of moving independent. I don't get gear. I don't get no, you get the gear. You don't get that. You still gotta move and have fees and to be able to do everything. Pay for the tournaments. They don't sponsor that.
Okay.
So you
that was gonna be one of my questions. Just kind of asking that part.
Yeah. So you still have to,
And I guess one of the things that I've heard before with like some of the feeder systems is it pretty much if you do well or if you win that, it earns you a spot. Okay. So in essence, it's kind of like you're fighting to earn a spot inside the official tournament, or inside the official like circuit, sneaker circuit, like the 1A.
Yeah. So now that you're saying that, I stayed on after the little conference. They kind of broke down what's going on, but I stayed in the call, and it was a couple guys in there, and it was new guys like me that was asking questions. They want to know like other stuff that wasn't covered. And you had some tenured guys in there that was talking about it. And one guy specifically, he was out in California, and he was like, man, this is like, it's legit. Like if any of y'all have any questions on it not being legit, it's legit. And that wasn't my question because I had received everything to get the tournaments, register for the tournaments and all that. So I knew that it was legit. But, for any of the guys that was in there that didn't think it was, he kind of answered it. And he talked about the talent. He talked about how some of his kids got recruited just from being, at the right place at the right time. The whole John Morant thing, So, yeah.
Okay. So not to cut you off, bro. So that means that as far as like the brand representation, so that means that even though they're not providing gear, you're able to provide gear and rock the brand.
Yeah, they want you dressed out in Adidas.
Okay.
So the dude clarified that, like they give you reps. You got a rep.
Oh, okay. That was my next question. So if they want you to be in it, how they're helping you, what resources provided to you too. So there's a rep. So I'm pretty sure you may not have to. They may not give you as much as what you would think, in the sense of outside looking in, but there is a rep that's going to provide you with probably wholesale
that design
to make sure got you make sure you're imprinted, you're branded with your. I got you. Okay,
and let you know what sense, shoes you can as a team rate versus you going out and just buying the shoe individual.
Okay.
So you got a rep. But outside of that, there are benefits to it, and that's what I wanted to hear because you coming in, you don't want to just be, gathering along and building something, but then there's no real opportunity. You get what I'm saying? Because, some circuits or anything, you hear a lot about these platforms.
And I guess you said the word, and this kind of throws into one of your questions that I think you sent in. That is, it just makes sense right now. Platform, is it benefit versus money grab? I want to say. Yeah, it's your question. I'm gonna let you toss to it. Where you want to go
investment. With it? Yeah. Money grab or investment. Some people you hear a lot of bad about it. You hear when people are done wrong. Anything. It's just like the sour baby mama. You're gonna hear all the bad, and it's gonna sound like, nah, this ain't worth it. But then, like I said, when you listen, and I sat and I asked questions to these guys that was already in it, you want to know. You know what I'm saying? So there is a benefit in it. And I say that you're looking at an investment because if your kid is a kid, and I always say metrics, people don't like to talk about that. I do. And I talk to my son about that. If your kid has the metrics, your kid has the potential, and potential really falls back on the metrics. Is he going to be 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", and above? If your kid is 6 feet, it's harder. You get what I'm saying? So if your kid got the metrics, one, and then if you are really one of those guys that want your kid to play on these levels, it's an investment. Now, where it can seem like a money grab is when you have ass, guys. So when you got a player that, you might work out for 1 day a week or 2 days a week, guys, and then you think your son is all that. We always talk about that. The guys that think their kids are better than what they are, then it's gonna seem like, oh, all they doing is collecting money. Yeah, because really, dude, you're not putting in the time and effort and making sure that your son is a sharp shooter. Because you play against teams where kids really can shoot the ball at like a college level.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I played last year and I couldn't believe it. I was like,
well, no, these kids put in a lot more work, nowadays to actually building their craft, which is a credit to the investment, like you say.
Yeah.
Like we always talk about, there are like 3 stages of, building into an elite athlete.
Yeah.
There's the the love stage. I love it. I love the game. I love the game. Then there's a commitment stage.
Yeah.
Then that last stage is, are you going to invest?
Invest in it.
I mean, we talking about not even money at the time. We're talking about as a player itself before it even gets to the money. Are you invested to your time, investing to your craft that you're going to get better, want to be better?
Yeah.
You know, so if you're not in, you can be committed. Committed is about, and like I said, these stages of love starts by elementary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Commitment comes about middle school, 6th, 7th grade. Investment comes 8th grade on.
Are you going to invest in his body?
Yeah.
Are you going to invest in? And then you start seeing this stuff, like you hear it, but then like when we played the first year of Halo, when we did they had where you could buy in towards the end to play in the tournament in the junior. They had where you could buy in.
Okay.
And I did that so the kids could see it. Man, we played what was the team out of New Jersey? What's Carmelo's old joint? What was that called?
Not Mellow 23. Black Ops.
No, it wasn't Black Ops, and it might not have been out of Jersey. I think you just said it. Team Mellow
23.
Yeah.
Mellow 23 or something like that. Yeah.
That was our first game. And man, like, bro, they was so well, like, you could tell this dude, he wasn't, we talked about overrated coaches. Nothing overrated about him. He knew the game.
Yeah.
You could tell the ball didn't touch the floor.
No push-ups.
Guys leaking out. Oh, none of that. Ball, lay up. Like, before you know it, I kid you not, in 2 minutes, we was down by 30. And the parents, you should have look at their faces. I was looking up at them like, this is different. They need to see this. We're developing, and y'all think that they're good. No, let's play in this tournament where you can see good.
Yeah, and you definitely got to have that balance when you're at that age too, where you're exposing these kids to what's real.
Yeah,
because it's good to be regionally or city or locally good. It's good to be good, winning your little state championship and all that.
And look, it's easy to go to Myrtle Beach.
It's easy to go to
TBA. You
it's
can't
easy
do
to
that
go
no
win
more.
that. It's easy
because when they don't go to good teams,
it's easy to go win teammate nationals and everything.
Right.
Like that. But when you come back and you got to go back and play against, the elite of the elite, when you talking about and give credit to some of these tournaments we done played in, like the junior phenoms at one point in time. That was elite,
Right.
You made hoop junior tournaments, those type of things, or even the junior peach states and all that type of stuff. When you pull up and be like, oh.
Yeah. And the kids all your height. You gotta you might got five that's like 5'10". You think you all right, but all of them your height.
With all your parents saying, he the right age. He a reclass. Where's birth certificate at?
That's a double reclass.
That's a double reclass.
Right age,
what?
His daddy was
y'all forget that they make kids in different sizes in different areas of the country.
Right.
Parents be forgetting that part. They be
like, breed. They plan this.
Yes.
5'10" mama with 6'7" daddy.
Definitely, shows.
Yeah.
Based on a height requirement. The metrics were definitely
and it paid off.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The kids be on there. Shout out to my the kids like Coach. They
but you can't
pause moment. You can't say nothing.
Sidebar, like they say, bro. You can't say nothing nowadays.
You
can't
nothing.
D the nigga balls, coach.
Right,
bro. I just said.
I told him, I said, you want to be on defense. You want to be wide and long. They was like, I said,
but you felt like you done got go cut somebody kid out or something. Like, what I do? Nah, bro.
Right.
This shit crazy.
But I would look at it back to your question, Q, investment.
So I ask this: we've all been around the circuit for a long enough time.
Mm-hmm.
As we're talking about platforms, investment, money grabs, what are some AAU money grabs?
Admission into a tournament for parents. That is
definitely is. That has become a crazy money grab.
I mean, it's become a crazy money grab just based on what you put into promoting that tournament.
Yeah.
So you're trying to recoup that by you're charging literally. I've heard parents say they paid everywhere from $100 to $300 for a weekend. Yes, because you're talking about like, if we traveled together. I may have came 5-6 deep. I'll spend $1,000 just going to the game.
I'm gonna tell you the craziest money. Last year we played in the joint. He didn't have no weekend band. It was each day.
They started that.
That's a new thing. A dub to 30 for the day.
And no weekend band. You'll see them posted. No weekend band. 20 each day, 25 each day. They like, if it's one thing that they have worked on hustling, it's the hell out of parents when it comes down to like what they pay.
And then you walk in and see a table full of gear.
Mm-hmm.
And you know
you already
your kid want a Made Hoops hoodie.
Right.
Your kid want EYBLs. They ain't even played an EYBL, but they want the EYBL tights, the daggone what they call the dry fit.
Y'all better start checking these Instagrams. Y'all see these directors in Onyx with Cuban links on. You know?
I'm trying to tell you, bro. They putting up in Maseratis and daggone what's the new trucks called? The new Tesla truck.
Truck,
they put
truck,
the hype coming to put up in cyber trucks with the wrap on it already.
Right.
With the team wrap.
Right. I tell them not Coach Trey.
No, not me. Not me. No. Look, man, I'm a good old country boy, man. West Virginia, man. You know, we don't do all that, you know.
So, all right, so we have parents right now. The money grab is the tournaments. Any other AAU money grabs?
Training.
Yeah.
Training is a money grab. Please, and of course we started off this podcast talking about, as you know, dash trainers and all those type of things and everything like that though. But I will say, parents, do your homework.
Yes, do
your homework. Do your research and your homework, because training has become a money grab.
Yeah,
you know, and it's sad to say, I love that people want to help people, but at the same time, not everyone is capable of helping them in that way.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to put anyone's mindset to want to help kids down, because I get it. You may see something that you feel like you can help a kid with, but it may not be through training.
And you're probably talking about the like the 17 kid home choreography that happened. Where it's like, the session is 17 kids and they got like 3 cones set up.
Yeah. Like
in and out cross.
Yeah.
To a step jab. And then
to where you spend half the time holding your ball.
For
the next rep. It's like, your kid got 10 reps in the day in the hour. You just paid $150.
Yeah. So stay away from that, parents. The 17 kids.
What if I say, do your homework, do your research, you know, talk to parents who have kids that you see as elite, you know, in a sense, like, you know, hey, I feel like we would be better off in this world if we actually learn to communicate with each other on a more positive level.
That's the problem, Wayne. These guys want to work together.
That's the issue that we're going through right now. And, you know, and this can go above basketball, beyond basketball, as far as what we're saying. But in this community, we have to learn how to work together to benefit the youth.
I'm gonna tell you something, Wayne. I'm gonna chime in on this. People need to hear this, because I'm a prideless guy, right? I got a kid at Mallet Creek that I seen at a program that I seen he could be good. I told his dad, let me work with him. He did. Got results. 2 years. He's good. But y'all always hear me say, let him go. Let him go. Because I know I didn't play at a Division I level. I can get him good enough to play to make it to this level. And then I got him with another trainer and told his dad about, hey, get him with this guy. He got more availability. He's in there in the morning. He could do morning workouts. He could do, I got a job. I got a job. These trainers got to know your lane. All right. Help the guys with the foundational level. I'm great at that. And then I'm going to say, hey, you should go here. You should go here, or you should go there. He'll be able to further you along. And if the trainers start talking like that and get to that where, look, man, it's nothing wrong with being a foundational guy. I think I'm one of the best in the city, and I stand on that. You get what I'm saying? 10 toe. But when it comes to, okay, what you seen at a Division I level, what the next guy seen, like, push him on and let him see his workout. And then you can actually go to his workout to see too if it's BS, because sometimes these guys that's been there don't know how to train either. Everybody ain't trainers either. So y'all got, like you said, do your homework, because a lot of these guys want to do it because they know they can make money. But look at his regimen. Look at what he's actually having them doing. And, you know, like you said, talk to the elite guys and see what they do and ask them, what do your son do?
Yeah, because, I mean, you can see there are games there are young men, young women right now that we've watched just even over the last 3 or 4 years. You'd be like, oh, I can tell that kid's been in the gym.
Yeah, been working. Yeah,
I can tell that kid's been working.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the kids you should be approaching.
Mm-hmm.
But here lies again is the problem that we have within that basketball community, especially here. We don't want to be vulnerable. We don't want to, look like I don't know. So I'm not going to ask. So like, and I'm sitting here in my mind, like, I know these guys know, but my pride is not going to allow me to, hey, bro. So, what you been doing? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm going to ask you that, Wayne. I'm going to ask you that. That's the difference between me and you.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you.
Yeah, that. Bro. It has to be that situation where it's like, what you see, bro?
Mm-hmm.
What you see?
Yeah.
I'm going to be a vulnerable person in this moment. Like, I don't see it. What do you see?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? What are you doing?
Right.
Because obviously you're getting results out. So what is it that I can change or I can add?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be vulnerable in those moments. And, when I say we, I'm saying as a community in the basketball, these trainers, all that have to be more vulnerable.
They do.
And not to a default, but to a fact of like, bro, there is no way we have all these basketball minds that have came out this city, have came to this city in this state, in this area, that we should not be a conglomerate and ruling the East Coast and the South.
That word that you said, conglomerate. That's all the trainers. Look, man, and me and Wayne need a percentage of this. Y'all all need to sit down and come up with a plan for these kids. It's gonna help them. We have our own farm system. They ain't got to go overseas. You get the Bless, you get the Tev under pressure, you get all these guys, DeJuan, you get Wayne, you get these guys and put them in a room and say, look, man, you gonna start with the kid here.
You work on this, we hit this, we hit that, and we work together.
Middle school, he need this. High school, he need this.
Yeah.
It's that easy, guys.
Shooting, rebounding, like.
And if y'all want me to do it, I'll run. I'm good at getting people together. That's what I'm saying.
And that's and that's what I feel like is just missing, though, in this community, bro. You know what I mean? Like, we are a very. It's funny. I sit in games and I look around like, dang, it's a lot of damn dudes that I done seen, watched, played with, played against, knew about before I played. There's like, it's too many basketball minds in this one building.
Yeah.
Invest in yourself. My bad, Q.
Now you get
invest in yourself. Go see Phil Handy in California.
If you got the bag like that,
$1,500. Y'all be spending money on everything else. Going to Cancun. If you want to be a trainer, go to Phil Handy, get certified. 4 days.
Yeah, I was about to say Phil Handy got the camp. He got the training camp.
Yeah, like, see, y'all don't even know that. Yeah, I'm putting y'all on game.
That part.
So I guess to stay to where we're at, AAU money grabs.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about the trainers. We talked about what was the first
admissions?
Yeah, on the parent side. What are some of the money grabs when it comes down to the teams? And then we can move to the tournaments. Are there money grabs associated with AAU basketball when it comes down to teams?
I'll say this, and I'll let you go.
Go ahead, you go.
I'm
first,
just gonna be quick
because you have a bigger background as far as actually running the program. So I respect that and concede.
Look, now all I got to say is, if a fee is $4,000, let me know what that's going on. And I ain't knocking nobody and none of that, but I mean, I just put together a schedule for my guys, and it don't cost that much.
So let me ask you this: are there, especially from a person that's run a program, are there different levels of fees that are required for different levels from elementary, middle school, and high school? So is there? Because I can imagine that once you get to a high school level, you only have a certain period of time to actually be playing AAU basketball. Yeah. So it's only doing live periods. So, and you may do some unlive things, but for the most part, if you're running an efficient program, it's like, I want to have majority of my schedule, be it whatever it may be, the Phenom Hoops, Big Shots, if I'm on that circuit level, or if I'm on that, not on the circuit level, independent. Like, so what does that look like as far as different levels of, so elementary, middle, high school, as far as fees?
That's a good question. I'm gonna be honest now. I ain't got no answer for that, Wayne. But I will tell you this though. With those younger teams, it's just the gym. The gyms is the biggest part. The gyms, gym, getting in the gym and paying for a gym is a bit in these events. Because now, like you said, as far as not even talking about the admission, what they're charging, what these program directors is charging to play in the event. So that's going up. So I really don't. I wish I could give you a more concrete on what you're saying with the levels. Yeah. But what I will say is the biggest part of the money, and parents, it do cost money. So if y'all asking if guys are, hoodwinking you and taking your money, you might have, if they charge $4,000, it might be, but I will say that. Yeah. But
I guess I'll answer where I can answer. I ain't been a program director, but I know, as we spoke about before, like if you was a coach at Grind for like a certain period of time, there was a bit of program director-ishness that you was doing because you had to find your gyms, you had to lock down practice times, you had to pretty much like get the money from the parents, and you had to sign up the tournaments and then make sure them tournaments was paid.
So you was being a program director, you didn't even know it.
Right. And especially if you like, shout out to my team moms. We had some
great
good team moms. But so saying that to say when the first part of what you're saying, like difference between elementary and then high school XYZ, it probably actually costs more if you're trying to be an elite level elementary
now
school.
That I will say that
because of it's so many more tournaments.
And not even just that.
And then it's but so many more tournaments, so many more practices. And then like we were trying to do like the two practices a week thing. So if, like,
that's more money.
Like that alone, when you're thinking about in a month, the bottom rate for like a gym, you talking about 45 to 50, and you need at least 2 hours, and then you're trying to do that twice. So now you're talking about that's what is that, like 200 a week almost, and then you put that so now you're talking about almost 800 a week.
800 or
maybe
more.
Maybe if you get inside like a public school, that's $35. So then you could break it down a little bit, but that's still about 600. And then you're doing that over the course of, sometimes you start inside December, maybe November, because you're doing like a winter league.
You talking about October?
No, I was trying to be generous.
I about to say
that's 8 months a month.
Well, if you remember when the babies, we had the elementary, it really wasn't no time. It was almost damn near year-round basketball.
Yeah, it was.
It was damn. So
right in the fall.
You want the one time that it wasn't. It would be, this is what I call like open gym season, where nationals just ended. So middle July, up until like September, like the first 2 weeks in September.
Yeah, because you get them to start school and all that type of stuff.
Yeah,
you're right.
But August, second week of August drop. Every AAU team is fall tryouts. Yeah. Da. Yeah. And it's always gonna be in September. Yeah. And your first games usually be October. And then if you was with us, they needed you inside a winter league. You had to be in that winter league, and that was gonna run all the way to July. So it's really basketball. Like kind of only it's like 10 years. I mean, not 10 years, 10 months. Yeah. When you really sit and think about it. When it came down to it. But saying that, going back to your question, the main piece would be, well, not the main piece, but I think the younger levels cost way more. Yeah. Okay. Because of it's still practice time, tournament time, and it's for a longer period of time.
But I'll say this, Q. I'll say kind of across the board, it's still going to be expensive because even jumping in what I'm jumping in, they want more money than the usual price.
So for a tournament, what is it hitting for now?
Man, you looking at damn near 600.
Yeah, I'm about to say you talking about the.
But that's close. Like if we're talking about like some of the later circuits that was getting on, but even junior phenom, if you wasn't more times than not, we all had decent teams, so they throw a little discount. Or we were jumping in with like 3 or 4 teams.
Oh yeah. No, I mean,
they was hitting 400 back then.
The relationships of what you had with these particular tournament directors determine that as well. You know what I mean? Like, if you're speaking from just a general aspect of it, it's expensive. And this was kind of giving a little insight to some of these parents that sort of understand the money itself. On some real type stuff.
Yeah.
Because for real, you know, the money going to the tournament, but the tournament ain't really cost what they said it cost.
That happens.
Because as a program,
that's the relationship part.
Relationship part.
So you was lucky. You was under a different umbrella for a little bit.
Yeah. For sure.
When you had that TU.
For sure.
When we was independent grinding for a little bit over at Grind.
I got you. It was
until we got. I know you got the ranking question.
Yeah.
In which I think we can go players and teams.
Yeah.
But there was a time once you made it on one of them rankings.
Oh, it
that
was
price started dropping. Or they was like, "Hey, y'all free this weekend? We can
well, you know what?
Nothing."
One thing I will say, you know, and I love to get shout outs. You know, what I mean, we at that point now where I can, you know, kind of speak on things.
Yeah,
you know, Jeremy with AAU, the way he was trying to do his, he made it easy, bro. Because he at the time when we were trying to, you know, build from the youth up. He fell in love with what we were doing. So it made a sense to where he promoted a lot of what we were doing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I ain't gonna say his ranking system was.
No, I don't speak on that part. I'm not speaking on that at all. I'm just saying.
But I like what he was
the
doing.
Acknowledgement of what he was doing.
I like
rings. He would do the rings at some.
The little ring. Not even that. It's just more so how he tried to do what people are doing now. Through an AAU system that was, you know, something that's been around for years.
He was handcuffed a little bit, but he was,
you know what I mean, handcuffed to basically how they move, but in a sense, he was trying to introduce things to them that would have helped them stay relevant. Yeah. Which is why, you know, they've kind of dwindled in that basketball world. You know, coming up, nothing was more important than the actual AAU.
Yeah, right.
Nothing was more important than that. Like, I remember, you know, actually getting a letter to come and try out for an AAU organization.
It's what like made hoops or EY, like right now that we like where we'll be playing made hoop circuit team.
Yeah, like
made hoop circuit team.
Made hoops is like
UA Rise team.
You know, things
back in the day was like AAU team.
And then the regionals was everything. You remember that? You had to play in the
so you had like
you did
you had like teams
back when we first came in. Like we came at like the transition time. Where it still meant something back when we came in. Like
exactly. Like
even at the second,
to
third
win an
grade,
AAU state championship. When they first got into coaching, it was like
it was lit,
and it meant even more playing back in the day. Like the AAU state championship was like
everything, and the craziest games. You remember the CP3 and just United games,
bro. All those were amazing games. Like you sitting there, you realize it's a sellout crowd for a fourth grade AAU state championship.
It was Stars then, but Stars
United. Then you also had just United versus before it was CP3. They was Team Felton. Then they went to CP3,
Felton, and then Bull City.
You know, bro. You know, it was shout out to a lot of programs that were building in that space at that time. But also a credit to what I was privy to growing up. You know, growing up, if you didn't make an AAU team, it was 3 AAU teams in Charlotte. It was the Nets, the Royals, and the Aces. If you didn't make one of them teams, you know what you did that summer? You played church ball, you played rec ball, you got your game right. But it was motivation to understand that just because your dad go start a team, he's not on the level of what we doing. Right. There were literally levels to that shit in a sense. You know, so to where like now it's so watered down that it's hard to even say it's hard to recognize programs.
It is.
To where you have to be backed by kind of circling back to what you've done and what we were talking about AAU you have to be associated with a shoe brand or something or a name to be relevant. Right. Because I'll never forget, bro, we went to that Memorial Day tournament up at Takeover. The first Takeover tournament we went to fourth grade. We was up there, y'all were up there. And I asked Buddy, I was like, yo, so why do these teams get to automatically go to bracket play and even if they lose and everything? He was like, well, you know, that's a super pool. Yeah. I say, so what makes a super pool? Like, bro, we was, you know, state champs, you know what I mean? Second run up to CP3, who y'all beat? I it's like, oh wow, we doing this at 4th grade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, you talking about the MLK?
Yeah,
In Durham. Was it?
No,
he-
I'm talking about
no, he's
DC,
talking
the
about-
one.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Man, you was going back and forth on Facebook about that.
God damn it.
But that particular tournament though was like, I asked my dude, the dude
I
that
might have
comes
got
take over.
one of my marquee wins inside that tournament.
I
That's
did.
when,
We got 2 of them too in that tournament. You know what I mean?
that's
So
when we caught. That was when Thrill was.
yeah, y'all caught Thrill.
We caught Thrill that.
And we caught Ward, Fight Ward, and New World on that one.
Yeah.
So we got those 2, but it was like, I asked bro, I was like, so you know what I mean? Like it was crazy to me. The answer was like, so we have a tier of AAU teams that are so much better than other teams that they get to lose every game in pool play and
automatic bid.
I was like, oh.
And I guess, Wayne, this probably makes sense to jump into this conversation just because it's kind of organically came up. I think an answer to that does come down to, I don't know if they still do it anymore, but them rankings.
Yeah.
And they were making a lot of Super Pool teams off of kind of like the clout of social media and
coast to
rankings.
coast to coast. Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah,
the coast to coast
coast
rankings.
to coast joints. Yeah,
There was one
and
more
if you
too. What was the other one?
I can't remember that one, but I know the coast to coast
Was
ones.
it Hoop Report? You remember?
I wasn't tapped in on that.
No, I went because Hoop Report you had to pay for. So it's coast to coast preps, and there was something else though. But I know coast to coast preps kind of were like the reign supreme at the time.
When those rankings dropped, it was like the ESPN.
It really was
top
like
60, and if you wasn't on there, they had like full lives where everybody's like critiquing these top.
Oh, it was going down,
and that was at every class. Like
Especially
2025,
Big Ho was going, but you tune into that goddamn go.
Shout out Big Ho, boy. We need to get you on here.
I'm trying to tell you. Because bro goddamn used to keep it going though.
Oh no,
lives too.
Keep it going.
He had 40 people on the
bro.
lives.
Listen,
no. I think like 200.
I think about 2. Bro, we rode home after the tournament. Literally, we were in the car at maybe like 30 minutes. Bro was live with goddamn on
every team.
No, but not even that. The 2 rival coaches of every game. Like we talking about niggas on there going big shit.
Yeah,
I told us we was gonna spank these ass niggas. You know what I mean? Niggas going crazy.
It was the AAU soap opera.
It really was though.
Like, but I loved it. It
was interesting, bro. Interesting.
But going to what you were saying, like a lot of it came down to like those rankings and things like that. So if you was inside them top 8, 9, 10, you was gonna get Super Pool guaranteed.
Yeah,
and you probably was paying for minimal tournaments. I remember it was a time that we cracked. I don't remember exactly where it was, but you start seeing them inboxes, and they be like, what y'all doing this weekend?
Yeah,
hey, we'll waive the fee for this.
But I'm still getting them text messages.
Yeah. And so leading this to go to one of the questions, the validity of ranking sites. And I guess we could start it off here. What is a good time to start ranking? And we can separate it into 2 things, players and teams. So let's start off with players.
Well,
when is a good time to start ranking players?
Well, okay. Yeah. So a good time to start ranking players, really, I feel like it's about middle school.
I was going to say that.
Okay.
And we talking about even middle school, I'm no less than 7th grade.
Yeah.
6th grade on down, I still consider 6th is like elementary school because we grew up, K through 6, but yeah, I feel like, and even ranking then is you're ranking off potential. You're ranking off the height of a kid at this moment. You're ranking off how a kid may be a little bit more talented than his peers at that time. So I feel like there's I feel kind of torn between where I'm saying middle school because of how the new social media and everything moves now. But if I wanted to be honest, I would say really 10th grade.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
But of course there's a market to rank 7th through 9th graders.
Yeah.
Of course the market is really ranking kindergarten.
But really what you're saying is that in your eyes, you don't really see it as being too valid until 10th.
Yeah, about 9th to 10th grade is really when it becomes valid. Because
so high school for you.
Yeah, because really in a sense, if you think about who the number 1 kid was in 7th grade versus the number 1 kid is in 11th grade.
Yeah, or even going into like 9th grade.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
I I don't remember the names of them. I would shout them out, but we came up in an era of ranking kids early.
Yeah.
From like 3rd grade, 4th grade. You've seen certain names. There is one.
There's only one name that's there. That's Baba. Baba there from goddamn
third grade.
2nd grade to now. He's the only one that's like been and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully earned.
But I think he might be the only one that
but that
when you see like that the rest of them top 25s right now, it's like, oh damn. CJ Rozier. He grew up
came out of nowhere.
He blew up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Which nobody seen him, nobody heard of him. Now he's the number 1 player in the country.
Exactly. So that's why I say, you think about, I understand the game of ranking potential, 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade, but like I said, it becomes valid around 10th grade. But I mean, if you want to talk about it, we can kind of go back to what we said before. Ranking is another money grab for AAU.
Yeah.
But
I done seen people be ranked number 1 and then not even play high school ball.
Yeah, like
they just be chilling at the game.
It took me a while to understand there were actually sites that you could pay for rankings.
But that's why they were paying. Well, I ain't got.
Nah, it took me a while because I was, not basing the know of things like that. Not saying I would. I don't get 2 shits about it anyway, but just to find out because you could do that. The kids started talking. They'd be like, "Yo, coach, you see this person? He ranked." I'm like, "Oh, what you think? What you think about that?" Because
I was gonna say, and the thing is that like I think we probably all at a point in time controlled our kids' handles.
Yeah, for sure.
On social media.
For sure.
And those sites would inbox you, especially like as soon as your kids start getting a little bit of followers, anything like that.
Oh yeah.
Hey, pay this much to get a write up. Pay this much to get ranked.
Man, as soon as Junior Phenom posts you as an @ in a game, that's when they came.
That's when it came. Yeah.
It kind
shout out to Steve.
Yeah, Steve, I say, shout out to Steve.
We was talking about this earlier. That with AAU, he was relevant. He was made hoops. Steve, when he had to play in Steve's tournament, or you wasn't nobody.
Yeah.
And right now, we are. This is the weekend.
Yeah.
If y'all remember,
that's what it is.
MLK weekend, Junior Phenom inside the DMV.
Oh yes,
sir. Where they at Rocky Mount this weekend?
They're Rocky Mount this weekend.
Damn, they done moved like the DMV.
Rocky Mount built a big facility similar to Rock Hill, so it's like you can host a whole tournament at one facility now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Steve. We got to get you on here because you was the guy. I wonder why the community. This is a little sidebar, but why we didn't support Steve.
Oh, so I guess I've been out of the circuit world a little bit.
I feel like
Junior Phenom
I feel like as relevant as the other guys. He should be.
Though. Oh, but is it?
So what happened was I feel like the people with names. So if you think about it right now, some of the biggest teams that we know are based off a NBA player's name.
Okay.
Then became a lot of NBA players hosting tournaments and events with other people. So it became where. Versus going just to Steve events, like anything, they started posting things at the same time. So slowly but surely, if I can buy your team to come, your team is free. And I can guarantee you're going to play this team. Like that's what became more so than anything else. The politics. I'm going to make sure we set up games to where we're going to do a lot of, so showcase games really what hurt Steve.
Yeah.
You think because he started doing showcase games?
No, I feel like everyone else started doing showcase games. So like more than anything else, versus we put them on opposite brackets and hope they get to the championship. We're gonna say, screw that. We're gonna host a night where they're gonna play all the teams they need to play now, and it doesn't hurt their standings going forward.
Right. But I guess I'll say this. I think that one of our first Super Pools was a Steve. Wait, no, who did Memorial Day? That might be just Team Takeover.
That was Takeover did Memorial Day.
Yeah, that was Takeover. All right, so that was a little different. But I feel like he did start doing the showcase game.
I mean, he had to. He had to start competing with the takeovers. You know what I mean? In the sense of not necessarily competing with them, but kind of taking from what they were doing, added to his event to make his event even bigger.
And I thought that he did well at that. To me,
yeah.
And again, like I think that probably around 3-4 years ago, we probably made a transition also from not playing in as many.
Yeah.
But the sneaker circuit Surgents at the grassroots level, in my opinion, seems like it's taken a lot of what he was doing. Man. Where you had like every single sneaker circuit now has like its own like feeder system tournament that they branch all the way down to elementary school. So make like middle school made hoops. They had a run where at first to me it was Steve, Junior Phenom, and then it seemed like it became really, really big when it came down to it being sneaker circuit team. Yeah. And like the sneaker circuit team being, or the sneaker circuits being prioritized at the elementary and middle school level more than actually playing the junior phenoms, in which back in the day you kind of almost knew year round where it was going to land and which was going to be the ones you wanted to go to. Yeah. Like you knew you wanted to go to the MLK. That was a guaranteed one. Like I know we always wanted to do the Carolina Showcase because it was in the area. Mm-hmm. I think they had one in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. The battle at Rocky Mountain. The battle of the what was it? Yeah, it was like Battle of Rocky Mountain, something like that. Yeah, Rocky Top. Rocky Top. And like it was certain ones. That was the best joint. Yeah, it was certain ones where you had it on your list. Like, okay, we're going to make sure that we go here, and these are like really, really prevalent things. In comparison to now, like I think Made Hoops might have something this weekend. Like it's a bunch of things that's going this weekend. Man. Like all the circuit teams all the circuit junior circuits are all playing at the same time. And back in the day, you had Thrill, Takeover, New World, Team United, CP3, like all of them. Bull City, everybody was in there. Who might be associated with these different brands, but they all went to the same tournament.
No, that was actually the only ground where you was able to see many different shoe brands kind of come together and play. You know what I mean? I actually remember that one year where this team from Cali came to Sneaker Streets. What was it called? Sneaker Steel. Sneaker Steel. And I was like, yo, who was that? Yeah. You know what I mean? They was out there.
Getting to it. Matt Barnes. What? No, that wasn't Matt Barnes.
That wasn't even Matt Barnes yet.
Yeah, that wasn't Matt Barnes' team. That was the. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, but then
light skin.
And it's also like you were saying,
black Hispanic looking dude.
With Junior Phenom was that early season like smoke. Mm-hmm. Like you knew no more than anything else. That first one is gonna be the smoke. Everybody gonna hit that first one.
You see where you are.
Mm-hmm. That Carolina one, of course, like you say, you want to do it because it was home. But that first one, then that Rocky Top that caught the other side. That now you catch some of the Midwest. You get the B-Mays, the Kentuckys, the Ohio's, the Indiana teams that's coming out. The some of the Georgia teams, the Mississippi teams. Like now you see the whole different side of things.
Get Steve back popping again, y'all. I gotta advocate for Steve in this free promo. Programs get together and get Steve back popping again, because ain't no way we ain't got.
Are they still doing Junior Phenom?
Yeah, they doing it, but it ain't as heavy as it used to be. He's still going, and Steve, I support him. I was supporting him when I was gotcha. And free promo again. It's free promo. Let's get Steve back popping again, where we all can meet up and we can all do what we do in Tennessee, and I see what these teams looking like. Let's not meet at all these other spots. Let's meet with Steve. Get him back popping again. Shout out Steve.
I guess to try and redirect it back to the question. So ranking. I don't know if you actually answered it yet. When is the right time to start ranking kids?
You want to know what? Outside of the money part of it, I like the ranking. It don't mean nothing, but I think it keeps the competitiveness with the kids and the dads and the egos and all that stuff, and that makes basketball.
I ain't gonna front, I mean, putting all that together does make it's the backstory. It's the backstory. Like a backstory. Yeah,
if we don't got that, we ain't got nothing to talk about.
It's a backstory.
I ain't really think about it like that. It's easy to hate on a lot of the shit.
It is, but
that is a fair POV where it becomes like
because like you say, you go back to it like you know, at a certain point in time, it was the parents doing the handling on the kids.
And
So you realize it ain't got that go Johnny and Lil Z going there. It really got that Johnny Daddy.
Yeah, that's
right. Hey, nigga, let's go. Pull up. Pull up.
We got y'all Saturday. We gonna be there. Yeah, we there.
Hey, that made it though. So you get to the gym, you wonder why, brother out there sweating at the baseline and the other nigga down there. He looking nervous. Yeah, like, bro, yeah.
Why that gym floor shaking?
Why that gym floor shaking? Why little kids running down?
The daddy doing it too. Yeah, you see it.
You see it.
Yeah, he having a better game than yours.
Yeah, so funny part about it, it never, I mean, I can say for the most part, it didn't get past that. You know what I mean? You know, and that's what I loved about a lot of these tournaments that we went to, especially with Steve. You know, Steve type, if you get a little heated, Steve, come on, hey, man, chill out, you know.
And we too.
You know, and you respect Steve, you right, bro. You right. You know, but you know, it's a good one. It is a good one, Steve. Hey, but you know, that's one thing I loved about the respect we have for Steve, to where like now it's so crazy, bro. Like to see parents run on the court hitting referees and shit like that, man. You know,
that is crazy.
Like,
which I will say that even during that time, there was some teams from. I don't even want to give the area.
Don't say the area. Just say the team. Yeah. Just say.
We've seen that happen during that.
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all had some experiences.
No, it wasn't even like us. But I've seen some teams that you said that you've beaten before.
Yeah.
That was doing
it's salty.
The parents get turned up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
hit a ref.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hit the ref like that's crazy.
It is crazy though.
But you know, or even encouraging your kid to fight because they've lost.
Yeah. Oh, that is wild.
And you know, it's crazy. We go and I'm circling back around. I'm gonna get back to you though, Trey. But it's like that emotion thing I was talking about. Even as a coach, but now even as a parent, you have to control your emotions as a parent, because your kid's gonna feed off your emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is these kids have competed. Mm-hmm. They're good.
Yeah.
They may be over there crying and whatever. Then it's the parent, man. No, man, fuck them. Right.
They were cheating anyway.
So now the kid is accepting that energy and is exemplifying that energy on another kid that, hey, y'all were just good 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Of course you mad you lost, but y'all competed.
Right. Yeah.
Then it turned into the ugliness of the emotions of the parent. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's kind of just that full circle of saying, like, you know, I was saying, me as a coach had to learn how to handle emotions. Mm-hmm. These parents have to learn how to handle their emotions.
No, it's a big thing.
You know, because I mean, they don't realize at times you're saying things about another person's kid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And stop doing that. Stop. Don't talk about these kids, man. Let them do.
Like, like they babies, bro. You know what I mean? Even though we talk about teenage babies sometimes, like I hear so much in the stands, bro, with these parents is like, man, you luckily.
The mom ain't sitting right here.
That part, and you lucky if they do hear it, they're more calm than you are.
Yeah.
They're more collected than you are, because I know some parents would be like, look at me like,
number 3 you talking about?
They look at me like, coach, they don't know.
Yeah.
You know, and I hate it gets there, but it's like, yo, cheer for your team, be proud of your kids, but let's eliminate this talking ish about another kid.
Fights out of it.
You know what I mean? Let's eliminate that part though, bro.
And that was a open gym PSA.
For sure. For sure.
So it sounds like when did you you said like you cool with it in general.
And I was gonna say I like because of the competitive side of it. But like you said, it really don't count till high school.
Yeah. You know, if you ain't
count.
talking about AP, ESPN,
ESPN,
you know, certain things, that's the validity of it.
Yeah.
You know, and I get where a person who has a certain clout in the game making observations of who they feel like are, you know, top level kids. I can respect
and
that.
I like that. I want to see that.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
But I feel like when everyone's chiming in, it kind of gives a bias to what they only like, who they like. Politics.
Yeah, politics.
You know, that thing. So it's, and even ESPN has politics. Even AP, it's politics in all of it. You know, it's who they sing.
Paul.
Cloud.
Paul, how you say his name?
Which one?
Paul Ben Carney.
Ben Carter. Ben Carter.
Yeah.
It's like once he's the new Bob Gibbons.
Yeah.
And those who camp in that word understand what I mean when I say that. Bob Gibbons give you that stamp. If you went to a Bob Gibbons an evaluation camp and he gave you mid-major, low D1, high D1, whatever it may be, that stamp was valid.
It meant everything.
It meant everything.
Yeah.
You know, coaches would see that as something that hey, Bob Gibbons said the kid,
Yeah.
Same thing with Paul Ben Carter right now. If he stamps you, acts you, or includes you in something, you've made it.
Yeah, and that's one of them ones you play in now. That's like the tournaments,
the Rock Hill joint.
Shots. Big shots.
I mean, really, that's kind of one of them tournaments now that kind of relates to back in the day. We saw my AAUs like that one tournament to where you have to play in that tournament now at a certain level, a certain age to make sure that you are providing that avenue for your kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that going from players in which, so you said high school pretty much for you.
Yeah.
For you like the fun of it even at a younger age where it ends up being somewhere to where like it is fodder for parents. It's something that builds the conversation, the competitiveness. It makes it to where you can sell out these tournaments for one game.
Oh yeah,
like
for sure.
people have paid that $20 money grab. Just to go see some kids that they seen talking crazy on or their parents. My bad.
I want to see that.
Talk crazy on the internet. So now let's move over to the team side. Is there a time where it's too early to be ranking teams?
Well, I feel like that whole thing with the ranking of the players, going back to what Trey was saying early.
Before you go there, and I know I just asked you this question, but I want to ask one before that.
Yeah.
That I imagine people are kind of hint towards inside the comments. Do you think ranking them too early can stunt development?
Ooh. I feel like, yeah. Well, I feel like there are pros and cons to it.
Okay.
I'm not going to go fully over the line or on the line or either one about, because I feel like there are pros and cons to both. You know, if you're touted as one of the best, the motivation to stay the best is also a pro. The con to that is you can be touted as the best and you get comfortable. Complacent, you know, with that title. But I also feel like, you know, with these rankings of teams and everything like that, kind of pulling all together, I feel like when you're ranking a team, ranking a player early, of course that goes hand in hand with ranking that team early.
Okay.
So if I have two of the top 25 fourth graders, of course my team is going to be ranked in the top 10 or 5 because I have the top 2 kids in that age division. So I feel like ranking teams too early is also not good because, like I say, you're not looking at it from the standpoint of that whole team. Because mind you, I bet the ranking that team early, I bet that person is ranking them cannot name every kid on that team.
They're ranking them based off the player.
That part.
Yeah.
Like
or
you
wins,
don't,
I guess.
or wins, or who they beat. So now, and then we're talking about also at an early age, a lot of kids are not, I mean, a lot of teams, which they shouldn't be, traveling across country to play everybody.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah. Can we pause real quick? I just seen, I don't know, maybe it was like 2032. I don't even know what age groups these be. And when I tell you they had a national schedule.
At 2032?
I think with that like 6th grade, 7th grade, like they playing in Georgia, then they playing in Philly, then they playing in
grade, so 2030 is 7th grade, 2031 is
like 5th or 6th.
5th grade is 2032.
Yeah, so I know I looked at the schedule and like for the group that I was coaching, I think that we did fairly national. Like we do Birmingham, we'll do DC. Like we did East Coast, like
Magic City tournament.
Yeah. But we're not going no further than
Alabama.
I would say,
Alabama was as far as
we going up.
Some of the North Carolina teams would do the John Lucas, so they'll go to
Texas. Yeah,
so they'll do Texas, but that's about as far. We'll do Birmingham, we'll do Tennessee, we'll do DMV.
They did that shit like 1 or 2 times with LJ and Damari, and they went down that way. Yeah,
John
but
Lucas.
John Lucas. We were going to do it prior to COVID hitting.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to actually kind of schedule it to where it allowed us to kind of get everything together to make that trip.
Mm-hmm.
But when COVID hit, it kind of took a lot of things out of it. Like we were going to do the May Hoops early rise in 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's when Dyson, Josh, and all them first came over and everything like that. But then COVID hit. But for the most part, we weren't going too further than Alabama, Tennessee.
When I tell you, they
maybe
had
Indiana,
one local tournament. That was
Everything
it.
else,
And that might have been like in Rock Hill or something like that.
Guys,
but when I looked at it, I said,
guys,
call them the flight boys already.
Look,
they flight boys.
I was like, man, as a parent for this team,
third grade, we shouldn't be playing in Colorado.
Right. And in which I think this might have been like a 6th grade team or something like that. It just came across the socials. But I was like we
imagine
did
what them
traveling.
things look like. Now that's
when
them
well,
fees
you know
go
what?
up.
They might be 4,000.
Yeah, that's 4,000.
I'm about to say no. That's when there's someone with money.
Yeah, behind it.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially that's what we're talking about. A parent, they got the bread, or a few parents they got the bread.
And as I think about
NBA
it,
players, kid on that team, or
I can't say that they
athlete.
had that, but I think what it was that they were playing a made hoops schedule.
Okay.
And they were playing a middle school championship schedule.
Okay.
And that is just like you're everywhere.
Man.
And it's
so the funny part about it was
schedule.
prior to COVID, you realized that junior NBA was supposed to actually be that new thing.
Yeah, they was rolling it out.
They was rolling out, bro, and it was supposed to be that thing.
Where
Like,
do these parents work at?
Well, that's what I was thinking about.
That's what I want to know.
When I heard that, when I seen the schedule, I was like, bro,
my
kid was born in the right time.
Flight.
Well, that's what benefited, at one point in time, what was going on the TU side. A lot of parents just started working at the airport. Get them flight benefits. Like, yo,
the airport hustle.
Get the airport hustle, bro. Like, do me 5 hours a night. I get to fly me and my family and fly for free.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you.
We'll fly out
cheap.
We'll fly out Wednesday for a tournament on Friday.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just make that drive.
Yeah.
Oh, like I drove.
Make sure I didn't got that oil change,
bro. I drove the Spooky Nuke in Philadelphia. I drove. I drove the Spooky Nuke in Ohio. Nigga, I ain't take none of them flights, bro. For real, for a week. But you know what's the funny part though about it? Like those drives were some of the best, best times though. You know what I mean? You think about it. You realize you and your child are crossing states that they never would have seen outside of you doing this.
And they friends.
They friends, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so those are the moments like you cherish and everything. But at the same, like he say, bro, I was cheap, bro. Like, unless I was getting the buddy, like,
hey, I'm hitting Q on the phone. Hey,
outside of Cali,
what you need to, what you want to go in on the room too?
Outside,
yeah.
Outside of 2 Cali trips, bro, like that's the first time we really had thought about flying. Like you had to fly.
Yeah, you got to get out.
You
can't drive.
We're not gonna drive 3 days and drive the Route 66 and everything.
Ain't no way.
Especially, I'm the only driver too, and just him, this nigga in there sleeping. Oh no, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work.
So I guess Wayne said. So in essence, was you saying that you don't think that, or you think that ranking them too early could hurt the stunt the growth?
It could at times.
Ranking the teams too early.
I said, it's a gift and a curse.
Okay,
you know what I mean. It's more so to where if a team is built like that and their coach is built like that, the program is built to want to sustain it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then it's a benefit. Now you got kids that stay hungry. They want to come work. They want to. It hurts them to lose a game. You talking about? It's some programs at that age that them kids will sweep a whole summer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where like even with the smoke.
Yeah.
It's summers of kids that go a whole summer, don't lose not one game.
Yeah.
But that's the motivation to want to come back and do it again the next year.
I seen a team come out of nowhere with 99 overall. I was like, who the hell is that? It would beating everybody too.
Yeah.
It definitely be like that. In which I guess if I was to give a POV, I'd say I think that I'm not as for ranking kids early. Probably just going through the process and knowing what I know now, I'd probably say high schoolish is probably when I think it's valid and it makes sense to rank them per se.
Yeah.
Because of I just now have seen so many kids come out of nowhere. Just if we just say in the state, in the area, where it's like these kids ain't playing on no big circuit team. These kids wasn't ranked at all, and these kids might have like developed 7th, 8th grade body height, and then the skill set has came as well. Just because they was playing on like lower level teams, so they was around it, but they just wasn't competing at the highest level, right? But then I'm actually not against, and maybe even for ranking teams early. Because of, I do think that when you say like being able to get a bunch of competitive kids together early to compete, in which like we can speak about how valuable like having like these super teams at a young age is, and whether that's good or bad. But if they exist right now, and that's cool, in comparison to like having these kids beat people by 60, 70, finding where these teams that are really competitive and being able to group them together to where at least they're competing inside a manner in which it's competitive. I think that there's value in that. And again, it gives it's conversation for parents, in which is not like specific just to kids, to where a kid might feel overwhelming pressure that I'm this thing, and now I got to live up to this title for the next 10 years or something like that. Where if it's just a team or organization, we all know everybody jumps, organizations.
That's what I was about to say. You're going to have that back and forth with people joining, leaving because, you winning and they're not playing. So now you got kids that could have developed more. They were developing, leaving because just you wasn't playing in that particular situation. Then now you got a kids like, okay, well, you leave. Now I'm adding another better kid. Now you be like you saying to your point, you're building a whole super team.
In which I guess that we our conversations have kind of blended well, like natural segues. So we're talking about super teams right now. And I think I got Wayne. He sent us in one.
Hey, buddy be chilling with his little videos.
I'm telling you.
Especially with the little mini hoop.
Where they dunking on them little goals and stuff, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll I'll cut this to where it flows in naturally. But where's your Gilbert Arena shit?
That team up nurture children. I said high school is development for you and your child. It ain't about winning championships.
And I said this, bro. Gilbert was speaking facts. Y'all saw Gilbert put his son on an school where he has to be the man. So he has to drop 40 points. He has to drop 50 points. If he don't drop 40, 50, or 30, they lose. LeBron did the opposite. He put his sons with the best of the best. And hindsight, you think it's supposed to develop the kid, but it doesn't. Kid doesn't know how it feels to beat a man. I think as a hooper, you got to know how it feels to beat a man.
I've never seen a college coach come down and say, yo, how many high school championships you won? No, you average 40. I want you.
That part. That part.
I love Gilbert, man.
For real.
All right, so fellas, I guess that introduces a really interesting question. We could start off where he was at, where he's talking about like at the high school level. And we could eventually bring it down from like elementary, middle school. But what he's talking about, teaming up, i.e. the Sierra Canyon model. Or being your own man and playing on like a team in which you as that guy have to carry the weight. What do y'all think? Which one do you think is better? Is one better? Thoughts?
I mean,
what you feel like, bro?
I'm neutral on it. I feel like it's just on the kid too, man. Like,
so if you have an elite kid, we'll place it at that. You have an elite kid.
If I got an elite kid,
which one?
I'm gonna be honest. I want to play for the school, like the traditional school where, like how West Charlotte was back in the day. I would like my kid to play and see that. I think you brought up like the private school versus the, and that can kind of flow into this too, because on the private side of it, like I done went to private school games and it ain't that competitive. Like you get like one or two, but then y'all play at Chambers, like y'all seeing smoke. You got it's lined up back to back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
use
do you
everybody
want to
best
play
game.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to play that? And where your kid is on like constantly in a situation where it's adversity, the crowd going crazy, you playing against one of the ones, 3 games back to back, or do you want to go dominate? And I mean, like I said, it could work.
So which way is that leaning at to you? Because one can say that exists both ways. Like, for example, if we're talking about, all right, I'll use these 2 examples.
But
so you have like Lincolnton right now. They got a 5-star player right now.
Yeah.
And like, shout out to LJ, in which all them games are sold out. The games are pretty competitive, but he's dropping 40.
I'm glad you brought him up to preach a little bit so we can expound on that.
Okay, got you. So you have him, and he's playing there, in which like he is the man. He's putting up like 35 to 40 a game.
Mm-hmm.
The games are usually pretty tight. So if he doesn't do that, it doesn't work. Or we'll be a good team right now where they got like 3 like dynamic prep. We played dynamic prep this year.
Yeah.
Where they had a starting lineup of all D1 players.
3 of them,
how was that?
3 of them going to the same school.
Yeah.
How was that?
Well,
it's levels to that shit, nigga. The fuck, nigga, it's levels to that shit. Fuck, nigga. There's levels to that shit.
I had to ask it. It ain't no. No. And look, we always gotta get this disclaimer out. The people take. It's sad that we got to do this,
hey, bro.
Look. This is a podcast. We trying to have. We're trying to enlighten guys.
And I'll give you this: they were what they was advertised to be.
Okay, and that's what I wanted to.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's levels to that shit. Like, bro, like
they went the whole weekend and didn't beat nobody by less than 50.
Yeah,
see,
like, but you talking
facts.
about
right?
These are the best schools in North Carolina and South Carolina.
Yeah. You talking about the state champ 3 years back to back down in South Carolina. You talking about Yale now? Yale is that.
Oh, he's that dude.
I know we veering, but
yeah, right.
A kid that we done seen grow up since 2nd grade. That motherfucker there.
I like him.
That motherfucker there, bro.
He got attitude.
They got 2 of them at that school.
If he was in North Carolina, he would probably be the best, one of the best point guards.
Up there with Chad. He going there. Chad.
He's going Chad,
well,
Deontay.
How about that Deontay? Because he's Deontay.
He's more sort of like far as them being the same class, him and Deontay, it would be like neck and neck.
Yale was like that as a little dude too.
That's what I'm saying. Like Yale is that guy, dude, bro. Like you got to give him.
I love seeing that.
If he was in North Carolina, that's all you would hear about him.
We're talking about
Yale Davis guy.
Yale Davis. You would hear about him and Deontay Neal probably being in that class of 2026. You know,
exciting, man.
Very guards that are football background for both of them.
Yeah.
And they translated to the basketball court to where they're tough to guard.
Yeah.
Yale being the lefty, Deontay being a righty.
And I didn't mean to cut you off. I just
the dynamic prep team. What he was saying is that they beat the back-to-back state champion South Carolina by 50 as well.
Oh.
And that's where it's levels. So they set the tournament record like 3 nights in a row. Like that's what they was doing. And this was like a team that was stacked with nothing but all 1A D1 talent.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the question of like comparison. No, this is the team in Texas.
It's Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. So would you want your kid, if you are D1A like level talent, to be on that group, or to be inside like Slim? Where to an extent, like Slim was the team last year, even though he had great talent around.
No, he did, but he was the guy.
But like the way they emphasized him, it was Slim.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Well, you know, I look at those who have done it in the past. So, like, look at Melo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Melo did what he did locally, and then senior year went to Oak Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I feel like there are benefits to doing it like that. Sadiq did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sadiq was locally that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But it made sense for him to go to a level of where,
like a preparatory,
to where he's going to be challenged by top 25s every night, and it builds up his status to be a McDonald's All-American.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Literally, if he stays in North Carolina, he's only competing against maybe 2 or 3 kids in North Carolina that are challenging for that spot. Now, if he doesn't play them at all, then it doesn't benefit him.
Right.
He only stood a chance to hurt himself versus helping
especially
himself.
if he stayed where he was at.
So
Yeah.
I think that would have hurt his stock if he would have stayed.
Well, I tell
I'm
you
just
this.
asking.
What you gotta understand
If he'd have
if he'd have
stayed
stayed,
Slim stayed and he
No.
Duke.
But I think it's a
he
little
won a
different.
state championship too, though.
Yeah.
So in a sense, if Sadiq stays, he has to literally not lose to any team he's not supposed to lose to.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's more of a pro at a certain age, especially youth, to keep level kids around each other.
Mm-hmm.
Keep high level kids at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let that kid drop down to play no damn church ball, no rec ball.
League, yeah.
If he playing rec ball, like when I let my son play rec ball, even from second or third, fourth grade, he was playing 2 ages up.
Mm-hmm.
Because even in rec ball, elite wise or talent wise, they're probably about the same.
They just bigger.
Just bigger.
Your kid be better.
My kid may be better,
mm-hmm.
but that kid may be bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So you're letting your kid compete against someone who's bigger, but not even necessarily better. But at a young age, I think it's important to keep like-minded kids around each other.
So I guess what he was saying is like a team full of studs or have developmental pieces. So you're saying like at seven
U,
no developmental pieces?
You all are developmental pieces.
Yeah. I'll say this, Wayne, just if
okay.
I can give you an answer.
Okay.
I mean, because he, to me, answered it. But to answer his question, it depends on who you playing for. Because if the program want to go out and win and hold up trophies or post it on social media to drive guys to come and want to play for them, you're going to keep all those kids. If your kid ain't one of those kids that can't do X, Y, Z, and he needs to touch the ball and he don't touch it a lot with that team, then go play with somebody else. So to answer this question, the guy that's going to keep the studs is the guy that want to hold the trophy. And the guy that, that's in it to coach and mold the kids is going to keep the kids and play with the kids that he got.
Gotcha. And I guess like the circle is back to another question. If you're playing on a team full of studs from second grade up, when did you get the chance to be the guy?
If you are the guy, I just say if you're putting the work in is
okay. So let's literally break down 7U basketball.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Traps.
If I press the best, I got one of the best teams.
Yeah, and can make layups.
If I have one of the most athletic teams, I have the best team.
Mm-hmm.
So in a sense,
got to make the layup.
Everybody the man,
right?
At that level, who?
I wouldn't say that. Though.
You got to make the layup.
Well, only thing I'm saying. So I'll go back and really utilize us as second grade, third grade.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If Nas, Elijah, Zai, Bryce, Aaron, if we got them getting 30 points off steals, all of them the man.
True, but I'd also say it was two of them motherfuckers that was like ripping heads off.
Yeah. Oh, no. Elijah Boy was
Elijah and Nas literally shut shit down. Like some teams went across half court.
He was the alpha of all.
And that was
and I would say alpha though.
Yeah.
But he may have not necessarily been the best kid, but they were just alpha as far as
but they were studs at that.
Their ability at that time was, oh my God.
Yeah, like the athleticism. Yeah. But what I would say is at second, third, like I can speak to like third grade. Like I know a kid that we won the game, luckily. But I know a kid that gave us 32.
Yeah, y'all 30. Yeah, for sure.
Z.
Yeah,
he was big and stronger than anybody.
That's Zaire Phillips.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But this is when
y'all played against
man. What? I got a picture of him and Tony on my phone.
I ain't catch Z till he was Showtime.
Tony had a great game.
Yeah. Now we beat him by a couple, but he gave us about 32.
Oh man,
I want to say
he was the only guy on the team.
But he was the only guy. But that's something when we talk about like the confidence and as it translated
that's probably why he's where he is now, because he had those teams he had to carry on his back.
Right, but then that goes back to the same question where and then like building the confidence of the kid. Like I guess the conversation has circled itself a couple times.
Yeah,
where like this goes back into like want to be with a team full of studs or develop early as the man of your team at one point in time. Where there's a plus and a minus to both sides.
Yeah, because you think about this right here. We came from a team where we're Havoc, to where it was decent. You know what I mean? It was good for them at the time. But then we found a situation that made sense to where you were around other elite-minded kids, dads that wanted to keep their kids in the gym. It's like, hey, this worked for us versus staying in a situation where you're the only kid that wants to be.
Well, yeah.
So it's like, I get you saying, it's like there is a plus and minus to it, a lot of plus and minuses to it, to where the pluses are now you're around kids that and dads and or parents that want it for their kid and their kids want it for themselves at an early age versus, yeah, he just doing this shit so he ain't got to goddamn be at home on the game all day.
Yeah, and I guess like when I think about it, I look at it as not even having kids that haven't been in a gym or don't work out, but it's just like naturally less talented.
Yeah.
And being able to be like the feature piece in that. This could be like depending on the age because they're smaller.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to name names of teams.
Of course.
But to where it's like, okay, if I go over there, gain confidence. These other kids are working, but they're not the studs of the class at the moment.
Yeah.
Not even due to being, you know what I mean, working, but it could be like athleticism, or it could be height, or it could be, you know, like the politics of the shit.
We did the same thing with in our situation to where we allowed him to play with teams that I'm gonna say beneath nobody because nobody's beneath anybody, but a different level. If one was a D1, this Mesa was a D2 level.
Yeah, and
just to see like how it is to be around, to be the guy that other kids ask, yo, so how you do this, you know, and they're depending on you to be the one to help them win.
Right.
And I think every kid needs that situation to a certain extent. Now, it may not be AAU being the only kid on the team, and it may be actually taking a different step to gain that confidence of allowing your kid to be the one on the team. You know, so it may be the YMCA team, it may be the rec ball team, maybe the church league team they play on that provides that opportunity to where they gain that confidence to where, okay, yeah, I can be the person that everyone depends on.
Yeah,
win, lose, or draw.
No, I dig it. Another question, and we probably could wrap up with this one.
Yeah,
we've been going for a second, but the future of basketball academies linked to college programs funded by NIL. He gave like a long explanation to it, but it sounds like what he's talking about is, what do y'all think about having an actual grassroots feeder program to NBA teams, college and NBA teams kind of connected? If we was to imagine Overtime Elite being connected to Duke and Duke's connected to the Lakers.
Yeah.
And how beneficial could that be? Or would that be something that would be a hindrance? Is it possible? This is hypothetical basketball, so I'll toss it out to y'all. What do y'all think? Would that be beneficial? Would that end up stunting the growth? Would that take kids from having real high school experiences in general? I don't know.
Well, I feel like anyway, any student athlete doesn't have a normal high school experience anyway. For any sport, you're required to, you know, do more than a normal student does.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that automatically pushes in the category of saying like, yeah, to be a student athlete is already different within itself, no matter what level, where you are, public or private. But I do think as you start talking about academies, private schools, you're really more so getting more specialized into that particular sport. And we go back to that word of investing, to where you're investing more into what it requires to get to the next level. You know, so I feel like there are means and reasons to why you do actually separate that from being at one versus the other. You know, so it kind of feeds into what you want for your kid and what your kid wants for themselves.
I think it's already happening.
Well, no, it's already happening, but I think
you know, like the Link Academy,
as far as a feeder, the feeder.
Well, and I feel like with the feeder programs, what you're getting more so than anything else, you're getting kind of like a European experience, to where you join a club at an early age, like they play club basketball. So I'm part of Real Madrid. But I'm part of the youth program that filters in the kids of development, to where they train for 3 weeks and they play one game. train for 3 more weeks, play a game. But it feeds into Real Madrid juniors. Now I'm playing in the Olympics or the FIBA 17, 16, 17, 18, 19U to where I'm actually feeding into the Olympics. For them, it ain't about college. It's about going to the Olympics overseas. So you feeding into that particular program. With us over here, if we were able to do that, now I feel like it does put a crutch on programs who don't have a feeder. So like as a mid-major, I'm at High Point. What's my feeder program? I'm at UNCG. I don't have the ability to have the feeder program from the Duke has.
Right.
So I feel like it benefits the higher level ups, the Power Fives, like we say, the Power Five conferences of teams. But what happens to those teams that are lower level?
Well, I think what happened to them, Wayne, is people don't want to go there. Like, look at UNC Charlotte. Imagine if Slim went there and Chad went there.
Yeah.
You know, you got these high level guys that went to Duke, but let's say they all committed in Ashton, guys or Deontay Neal, who are all these guys, Yale, and they all just said, F it, we're going to go here and make this school, and we're going to go and play these schools. You know, I think the drop off is these kids don't want to go to these schools. So you get the Dukes that can filter you into the NBA, Kentucky when Calipari is there, because it's the people that's there that kind of bring the kids. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to cycle back that conversation, but why them kids don't want to go to UNC compared to Duke?
Again, I mean,
platform,
right?
You could do less, and get more.
But again, always got to look on the other side of that coin, Q. If we get all of those kids there and they win, and you don't think nobody gonna get a chance?
Oh no, a kid will get a chance. But again, if you do more, you can get close to or equal. But if you're on a bigger platform, you can do less and get more.
That's not always true, though.
But
if we just use the example that you just gave.
Because there's some guys that come out, like you said, from those big platforms, but they don't get. Look at Baycott.
Right,
he's in the G League.
But Baycott did 4 years.
Baycott did 7 years of college.
Yeah, but
but he dominated though at that.
He didn't dominate at college. I wouldn't say that, but
he was a dominant big man.
But the thing is that what those kids did was unconventional, and it's just different. So Caleb Love, if he left his first year, he was projected late first round. Like, the longer you stay in college, no matter how
the more
good
your flaws are revealed.
Your
draft
for sure.
Like you have to go for like 25, 30 eventually, no matter where you're at, if you're going to be 3-4 years.
Like if Cooper Flag come back, he would
have to do so much.
They will break down so much of what he doesn't do.
We know he went in there.
No, I'm just saying in a hypothetical situation though, like he came back. Everything he did wrong would be magnified.
Right.
Oh, he can't go left. He can't go right.
And then he'd have to
that
do
ain't
so
gonna
much
happen.
more.
Now I'm using your butts. That ain't gonna happen.
I feel
somebody else.
No, I feel you though. I'm giving an example of because
or close to.
There's a time where Cooper wouldn't have left school.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Like he did 3 years.
He at least did 2. At least did 2. Because in the sense he would have came in, body might not have been right, mind might not have been right, prepared for the NBA. Now these kids are groomed from a certain age to be NBA players.
So let's talk about DeBanster.
What about?
No,
wait. All right, so
let's talk about.
I do want to finish the point that you was making. So you gave like 2 kids names, and my only point is that with those kids, they would benefit more by going to a higher program, and again, not having the responsibility to do as much to get to the same spot, i.e. the draft. In comparison, if they went to UNC Charlotte, the burden of having to put up 30 to try and be a first rounder. Yeah. That's what you would have to do at UNC Charlotte. Comparison to you could put up 7 to 10 at Duke and be a first rounder.
Off the bench.
Yeah.
But you say first rounder, like, man, I've listened to everything. I'm an active listener. You make second rounder sound bad though.
I'm not saying it's
There
bad,
you,
but
there you
I
go.
mean, if
Now,
you
hold
make
on, hold
it-
on.
If you make
There you
it,
go doing
make
your
it.
shit. There you
What?
go doing.
Yeah.
There you go
What?
doing
I
your
mean,
shit.
because he keep throwing out
No.
first rounder, but my
But
thing
at
is,
no point in time do he made second round or
but
anything.
he said it though. I'm actively listening to
Okay,
what he's
No,
saying.
but
though.
what we're referring to is the dream of what every player wants coming out of college or high school is to go
Right.
what? First round, right?
Yeah,
To shake the commissioner's hand,
right.
not the deputy commissioner, but the commissioner's hand.
Okay.
That's it. That's everyone's goal.
But
All right,
it
so-
don't happen like that.
Right.
That's what I keep looking at.
But we're
I
not
keep
saying, but we're not
So-
saying
so
that's
Trey,
bad
I
because
keep saying-
that's still making it though.
right.
and no, Trey,
That's still
I'll
making
even engage with your point. What is the lifespan of a player that gets drafted in the first round comparison to the second round? Most second rounders don't make an NBA roster. Like the contract is not guaranteed, and like most of them are lucky to make it past the summer and then be in the two-way.
But
Compared
that
to
happens to first rounders too.
no, first rounder
You're
is
guaranteed.
guaranteed.
You're guaranteed.
Like
through the
there's
4
a
years.
big difference between first and second round. We were just talking about guaranteed money. Same difference being lottery and first round. All of these have different. No, but
You can't though.
so
because
right now, like
you
all
get
right,
guaranteed
how
money
about this?
first round.
We take the money out. What we're talking about is a guaranteed spot, roster
The
spot.
guy just playing and being who he is.
So, like, if you get drafted second round, no matter how good you are, there's kids that's going to just naturally not make the roster spot because you're not a priority for the team. In
Right.
comparison, being drafted first round,
But I
makes
ask this,
all the difference.
and I'm gonna circle back. Got to do this, though. But there is that instance where a second rounder do break
right,
through,
right.
and plateau.
of course,
right?
but you're talking about like the outlier. I'm only talking about
No.
the majority of people.
But see, now it's one-sided conversation. Then,
It can't
because
be.
we only talking about the majority. We ain't talking about the minority. They make it.
I'm all right. So,
So again,
but you're hedging your bet now. That
Okay.
I am because I'm hedging my bet
so
when I
let's
was
hear it.
talking about Robert
Let's hear it.
Dillingham.
no,
right?
but you're hedging it at like
there are only
some
few
second
mono
rounders.
Ginobili's.
We understand. I'm not arguing that, but what you keep throwing out
But
is
we're not arguing that nobody from the second round makes it, because that'd be the opposite of what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm not making the argument that nobody from the second round makes it.
Okay, but you
But
make it
generally
sound like
speaking, kids want to go first round because there's more security.
right.
All kids want to go first round for security.
Okay.
All kids want to go lottery for money.
Right.
Nobody wants to go second round. That's the only thing that I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not saying that.
Okay, we on the same page.
We agree on that. I'm not saying
We're on the same
kids
page
want to
again.
go second round.
Got you.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
This
For a
nigga Trey
minute,
is devil's advocate.
for a minute,
today,
boy,
boy.
you was goddamn throwing a bone to a goddamn fish that don't even eat goddamn poke.
Right. I guess was there anywhere that y'all want to kind of land that?
Nah,
Everybody got it up.
Trey took that shit so goddamn.
Trey keep taking it. I see what Trey trying to do here.
Hey,
I get it. This is Rashad McCants right
Trey
here.
trying to get the views.
Yeah, Trey.
come on, man, work with me.
If y'all know Gilder,
I'm listening to one of my guys, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's Nick Young.
I ain't gonna say your
Goddamn.
name, but you know I'm doing it today.
Look,
I ain't mad at that.
that's Nick Young saying, "Hey, fuck Kobe. I told that nigga I'm the best one-on-one player in this motherfucker. Goddamn, nigga had one leg."
right. So no, listen.
Straight like
I
that.
like it though. Listen, future episodes, I'm gonna just be prepared for it today.
Oh,
I was like, Trey on one.
Once I mentioned the whole Facebook post back in fourth grade, it made me remember, like, bro,
Oh, yeah.
goddamn, he gonna
Here you
go
go.
bah, bah, bah.
I like it though.
Like, can you say bah, bah,
Right.
bah, bah, bah. That's Trey all day, bro.
Right.
Hey.
Trey, I'll toss it to you. Do you got some hit gems of the week?
Shout out. Did I shout out Kamari last one? Kamari, I watched him. Kamari Cook. He
Kamari
looked
Cook.
good. Yeah, he looked good. The other day I watched him.
Yeah.
Jordan Washington,
Mhm.
Mallard Creek. He looked good. He looked like he's starting to
Find it out.
yeah,
Figure it out,
and
yeah.
just listen. It's guys, y'all might be talented or have talent. You don't know it all. Just listen to your coach sometime.
Yeah.
Who else did I see? Oh, Malik McCotter.
Mhm.
He looked good. And he had some big moments. I went back and watched that game. Like
North Met game?
Yeah, I want to say
Third
he had
quarter.
didn't he have like 20 plus, 25 or something like that?
He had a great game against
Had
North
a great game. Like
that third quarter was his for sure.
Yeah, he really played.
Even the clutch shot in the fourth,
Yeah.
made the big free throw, made the layup and one.
Mhm.
Yeah, he had a big 6 in the last couple of
Yeah,
minutes
yeah,
of the
yeah.
game and everything like that. So I definitely want to shout out Trajan Thompson. I think Providence Day, Chad again at North Meg, Isaiah Dennis at Davidson Day. I know I'm my mind going blank.
Justin Whitfield had a big 30-point game not too long ago.
Oh yeah, for
too.
sure.
Clutch.
Yep. Also want to shout out Marcus for nominated for Observer Player of the Year.
Mhm.
So just shout out to these guys, man. They're putting their names in good situations. Marcus Carr, over at Chambers and everything like that, doing this thing. So Torres, I think he was nominated for something as well for a Gatorade Player of the Year.
Mhm.
So I mean, shout out to all these guys that are really putting, their game on the forefront and opportunities providing themselves. You definitely want to, give big ups to these guys because more than anything, man, ain't nothing like getting them flowers when you're around.
Right.
And shout out to my little guy Josiah too. I posted it on Instagram.
Okay.
Middle school. He ain't high school, but I'm gonna give him a shout out because he faced adversity and he was a team manager.
Yeah.
And he stayed with it. Like it's just kept telling him point guards got to be tough. Keep your mind in it, and you're gonna get your chance.
Mm-hmm.
And we played against Eastway. The game wasn't supposed to go and how we thought we was going 20-piece them and not the.
Yeah, it'd be like
no
that.
salt, but they came in with the wrong mindset,
Mm.
and the game was tougher than it was. Went to overtime, and I made a call. I told the coach, I said, "Look, man, trust him. He know how to play." He looked at me. I said, "Trust me. He know how to play. He gonna give you more than the player that's in there right now." Came in, swung it to him, 3, boom, put us up by 3. Came down again. We got a steal. He got fouled. 2 free throws. Boom. 5 points in like 30 seconds. He the reason why we won the game at the end clutch. So shout out to Josiah, man. That was good stuff.
Stay ready. You ain't got to get ready.
Yep.
Right.
That has to be the motto for all student athletes. Stay ready. You don't have to get ready because you never know when your opportunity is going to be presented to you.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take full advantage of it. You sitting there soaking and worried about why I'm not, why I haven't. Be ready for the moment when you are when you are in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we definitely got to end on the note of promoting staying ready. You ain't got to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. So nonetheless, I guess this has been a fun, an argumentative episode.
Trey.
Right. I'm gonna have my gloves on next episode.
You gotta be ready.
Man, what is Trey talking about? But I get it now. He poking a bit.
Yeah,
I
that
like
part. As he should.
I like it. With that said, from coaches to casuals, grassroots to the league, this is Open Gyms. I'm Coach Q.
Coach T, who I be.
Coach Way Too Nice. Coach Wayne, baby. We in the building.
All right. And like that, we out. Peace.
Peace.